But that's just what's going to happen. This is his negotiation response. So he hears this. He says, "Sa'uballighuhum ma taqul." He says, "Okay, I'm gonna go tell them what you said." He's not from Quraysh. Remember, he's from Khuza'ah. But he's gonna go tell who what they said. The Quraysh. So he's gonna go to Quraysh. قال فانطلق حتى أتى قريش. So he left until he reached Quraysh. قال إنا قد جئناكم من هذا الرجل. He says, "Hey, we've come to you from this man." Who are they referring to? This man, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وسمعناه يقول قولا, and we heard him say something. فإن شئتم أن نعرضه عليكم فعلنا. They said, if you want us to tell you what they said, we'll do it. He's saying, look, it's none of my business. It's between you and Muhammad. We just wanted to go figure things out for ourselves, but they told us some things. Even though it's none of our business, if you want to hear what he told us, we can tell you. فقال سفهاؤهم لا حاجة لنا أن تخبرنا عنه بشيء. Some of the idiots in Makkah said, we don't need you to tell us anything about him. We can take care of ourselves. What he said, what he didn't say, doesn't matter. وقال ذو الرأي منهم, and the people that were smart among them, the politicians, they said, هاتي ما سمعته يقول. Hey, what did he say? So some of the angry ones, the thugs, like, we don't need to hear what he said. And the other one said, no, let's hear it. So, سمعته يقول كذا وكذا. فحدثهم بما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So he told them everything the Prophet ﷺ said. Now the Quraysh know the Prophet's not playing around. He's not here to negotiate in the sense that he's not going to be turned back. Okay. Now the Quraysh still have too much pride. They are not going to let the Prophet ﷺ go to Mecca, and they don't want to dignify him by speaking to him directly. They still won't talk to him. They're still trying to figure out what to do. In the meantime, Urwa ibn Mas'ud al-Thaqafi is one of the tribes in Ta'if, neighboring city, right? He says, you know what, I'm going to go talk to them. And they're okay with that because they save face, right? They don't have to deal with him directly. They send somebody from Ta'if to deal with him. So Urwa goes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Urwa, you should know, is a multi-millionaire. He's a very rich person. And at some point, he needed to borrow some money, and he had borrowed money from Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Which tells you what kind of money Abu Bakr used to have, radiallahu anhu. Because if one of the leaders of Taif, big money Taif, is borrowing money, they're borrowing money from Abu Bakr. So that's not no $20. Okay, so that's serious cash that he borrowed at some point. And he never paid it back. He didn't pay it back. We'll get to that. قال عروة عند ذلك أي محمد. So Urwa, he's a politician. He's a big deal in his city. He talks like he's a VIP, and he sees Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's not going to talk to him like he respects him. So he says, hey, Muhammad. This is how he speaks to him. أرأيت إن استأصلت أمر قومك هل سمعت بأحد من العرب اجتاح أهله قبلك? You really think you are going to uproot your own people? Have you seen anyone among the Arabs do this to their own family? This is how he starts talking to the Prophet. Because he's saying you're an embarrassment to the Quraysh. You're hurting your own family. How are you uprooting your own people? You're not loyal to your own people. One of the reasons he's also saying this is because he sees around the Prophet ﷺ people from all different tribes. And he sees slaves. And he sees people that have never been together. And he sees people whose families have been at war with each other for centuries, but now they're brothers praying together and eating together. And he's like, well, who are these people? What is this? And you're going against your family for these people? So وَإِن تَكُنِ الْأُخْرَى فَإِنِّي وَاللَّهِ لَأَرَى وُجُوهًا وَإِنِّي لَأَرَى أُشَابًا مِنَ النَّاسِ خَلِيقًا أَنْ يَفِرُّوا وَيَدَعُوكَ. He says, man, I don't know what you're doing here. Listen, I see people around you. I see people around you. And I see the variety around, the colors around you. That if push comes to shove, if it gets real, if the battle heats up, these are the people that are going to run away from you. They're about as diverse as a bus stop, right? Because in his mind, who's loyal to you? Your tribe. People that wear your flag, people that have your background, your lineage, family first. That's the tribal way, right? These people are from different nationalities, different tribal backgrounds, even some of them different previous religions. They all have different histories. Some of them didn't even like each other for a long time. Some of them had been on opposite ends of the battlefield before. And now they're standing next to you. He's not going to be loyal to you. He doesn't understand what Islam does to people. He's never seen it. For thousands of years, the Arabs have never seen it. No nation had seen it. Everyone's loyal to their own people. And for the first time, these people have forgotten thousands of years of tribal history, and the thing that bonds them is thicker than any blood, is Islam. It's not something he can comprehend. He doesn't get it. He can't understand it. So when he does this, he says this, قال له أبو بكر الصديق. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq spoke out. And I'm not going to read what he said. But he said something really, really offensive. He said something rated R. Okay? And he said it, and there are some kids in the audience I see, but it's also a masjid, so out of respect, I'm not going to say it, but it was basically, if it would be said, it would be bleeped out. Like, beep, beep, beep. Basically. And this is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, the nicest, quietest, calmest Sahabi of all. And he hears this man talk to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, these people are going to follow you. Shame on you. And he says, boop, boop, boop. And he's like, أَنَحْنُ نَفِرُّ عَنْهُ وَنَدَعُهُ. We're going to leave him. We're going to run away from him. This is what Abu Bakr as-Siddiq out of his rage said. فَقَالَ مَنْ ذَا? He said, who said that? Because it's a crowd, right? Abu Bakr is in the crowd, but he didn't see who said it. He's like, who said that? فَقَالُوا Abu Bakr. They said, Abu Bakr said it. Because even everybody else must have been like, Abu Bakr. Like, what is this? قال أما والذي نفسي بيده لولا يد كانت لك عندي لم أجزك بها لأجبتك. He said, I swear by the one whose life is in my hand, meaning I swear to God, if I didn't owe you money, I would have answered you. Remember he borrowed money before? And basically he considered, now we're even. I ain't got to pay you back now. Because you paid me with this, I paid you by listening to you cuss me out in front of everyone. Right? So, فَاتَّفِقَ عُرْوَةٌ وَهُوَ يُكَلِّمُ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ يَمُسُّ لِحْيَتَهُ. Listen to this carefully. Urwa is a politician, like a governor. Back in the day when the elders were speaking to each other, and when they're speaking to someone lesser, and they don't feel like they're not listening, they would grab the beard of the one who's not listening and say, hey, listen to what I'm saying. This was their way of negotiation. This was and the ones who were elites were used to doing this and getting away with it. Right? So, he's speaking to the Prophet ﷺ and he tries to what? Grab his beard. Now, Mughira radiallahu anhu, he's got a helmet on. I'll read it to you. قائم على رأس رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بالسيف. Mughira is standing right at the head of the Prophet ﷺ, and his head is covered. وعلى وجهه المغفر. He's got a helmet over his head, so you can't see his face. So he's a warrior, a guard. His name is Mughira. He's standing behind the Prophet ﷺ. فتصق المغيرة كلما مس لحية رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قرع يده ويقول أكفف يدك عن مس لحية رسول الله. So he says, every time he tried to reach for the beard, he would take the butt of the bottom of the sword handle and smack his hand. And he's like, huh. And a few minutes into the negotiation, he reaches his hand, he gets his hand smacked again. 2, 3 times. The third time he said, get your hand away from the beard of the Prophet ﷺ قَبْلَ أَلَّا تَصِلَ إِلَيْكَ, before it can never reach even yourself. Keep your hand to yourself, or you ain't going to have a hand left. And nobody's ever spoken to Urwa in this way before. This guy is, you don't talk to them like that. They're the elites. So he says, فَلَمَّا أَكْثَرَ عَلَيْهِ غَضَبْ عُرْوَةٍ فَقَالَ لَيْتَ شَعْرِي. When Urwa was humiliated and furious, he says, are you serious? Is this really happening? Man anta ya Muhammad? Who are you, Muhammad? He's basically saying, who do you think you are? And then he says, وَمَنْ هَذَا الَّذِي أَرَى مِنْ بَيْنِ أَصْحَابِكَ? And who's this that dared to do this to me among your companions? Who's this behind you who hit me? فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم said, هذا ابن أخيك المغيرة ibn Sha'ba. This is your nephew Mughira ibn Sha'ba. Because he had a helmet on, right? Hey, uncle. What's up? فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم هذا ابن أخيك المغيرة ابن شعبة. قال وأنت بذلك يا غدر والله ما غسلت عنك عذرك إلا بعلابة أمس لقد ورثت. So he says, you're a traitor to me. I will never forget this. So he's really upset. He knows this negotiation is not going anywhere. First of all, he got cursed out by Abu Bakr Siddiq. Then he got smacked down by his own nephew. He was like, I can't. I have no clout with these people. I have no way to get ahead with these people. So he goes back to his people. فقال يا أي قوم. We're going to stop with this one. He says, people, والله لقد وفدت على الملوك. He said, I have been an ambassador to kings in the world. I've traveled the world. I've been an ambassador, an emissary in the courts of kings. وفدت على قيصر وكسرى. I've seen the Roman king and I've seen the Persian king, the great superpowers of the time. والنجاشي and the Abyssinian king. والله إن رأيت ملكا قط. I have never seen in my life any king يعظمه أصحابه ما يعظم أصحاب محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم محمدا. I have never seen any people of the king honor their king, aggrandize their king, deem their king's regard their king's greatness the way Muhammad's followers consider his greatness. I've never even seen this in the courts of kings. والله إن تنخم نخامة إلا وقعت في كف رجل منهم. This is him exaggerating in poetic speech, but you get the point. He said, even if this man was to spit, it would land in one of his followers' hands. They wouldn't let it touch the ground. فَذَلِكَ بِهَا وَجْهُهُ وَجِلْدُهُ. And if a drop of sweat fell from his skin or his face, they would catch it with their hands. وَإِذَا أَمَرَهُمْ ابْتَدَرُوا أَمْرَهُ. And if when he commands them to do something, they're competing with each other, who's going to follow it first. وَإِذَا تَوَضَّأَ كَادُوا يَقْتَتِلُونَ عَلَى وُضُوئِهِ. When he washes his face, it's like they're going to kill each other to catch the drops of water from him. وَإِذَا تَكَلَّمَ خَفَضُوا أَصْوَاتَهُمْ عِنْدَهُ. And when he speaks, they humble their voices before him. وَمَا يُحِدُّونَ إِلَيْهِ النَّظَرَ تَعْظِيمًا لَهُ. And none of them even raises their eyebrows and bulges their eyes at him because they think of him so great. They don't even make aggressive eye contact with him. Even the way they look at him, the look has humility in it. وَإِنَّهُ قَدْ عَرَضَ عَلَيْكُمْ خُطَّةَ رُشْدٍ فَاقْبِلُوهُ. Listen, he's giving you a good suggestion, just take it. This is Urwa telling them, listen, he's making sense, he's not talking crazy. But he didn't just say that, he said, look, وَإِذَا تَكَلَّمَ خَفَضُوا أَصْوَاتَهُمْ عِنْدَهُ. And when he speaks, they humble their voices before him. وَمَا يُحِدُّونَ إِلَيْهِ النَّظَرَ تَعْظِيمًا لَهُ. And none of them even raises their eyebrows and bulges their eyes at him because they think of him so great. They don't even make aggressive eye contact with him. Even the way they look at him, the look has humility in it. وَإِنَّهُ قَدْ عَرَضَ عَلَيْكُمْ خُطَّةَ رُشْدٍ فَاقْبِلُوهُ. Listen, he's giving you a good suggestion, just take it. This is Urwa telling them, listen, he's making sense, he's not talking crazy. But he didn't just say that, he said, look, his followers, too strong, bro. And if push comes to shove, I don't see you guys keeping your followers, he's going to keep his. Your people will run from you, his people aren't going to run from him. قَبِلُوا. So he says, اقبلوا ما عرض فإني لكم ناصح. He says to them, listen, whatever he's offering, take it. I'm on your side here. What's good for you is you listen to what Muhammad is saying. مع أني أخاف ألا تنصروا عليه. Because I'm scared that when it comes to it, you're not going to have the help you need to fight against him. رجل أتى هذا البيت معظما له معه الهدي ينحره وينصرف. He says he's a man who came to this house just to show respects to the Kaaba. He's going to come, he's going to slaughter the animal, and he's going to leave. It says, it's that simple. And they said, I'll leave you guys with this. They said to him, لا تكلم بهذا يا أبا يعفور. They said, Abu Ya'fur is his nickname. They said, don't talk like this. Come on, we respect you. Why are you breaking like this? لو غيرك تكلم بهذا للناه. If somebody else was speaking like this, we would have dealt with him differently. But we respect you. How can you talk like this? ولكن نرده عن البيت في عامنا هذا ويرجع إلى قابل. They said, okay, fine. You know what? He's not coming this year, but maybe next year we'll let him. So already the Quraysh are starting to break, isn't it? Because we started with, they will never let you even see the Kaaba. They will fight you. They will kill you. They've got their swords sharpened. Their women and children are ready to die. And now they're like, okay, not this year, next year, okay? And so the weakness is starting to show. There's chinks in the armor starting to show.